The Meshech Chochmah in Parshas Emor explains that there are two types of mitzvos. There is a type of mitzvah which strengthens the bond between man and God, between a person and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. An example of such a mitzvah is the mitzvah of mezuzah, or the mitzvah of tefillin, the mitzvah of tzitzis. And that mitzvah is specifically geared towards strengthening the relationship that we have with Hashem. There's another type of mitzvah, explains the Meshech Chochmah. The second type of mitzvah is a mitzvah that strengthens the bond between fellow Jews. A classic example of that type of mitzvah is Gemilas Chasadim, being kind to other people, doing good things for other people. Or the mitzvah of tzedakah, giving charity to someone. Or the mitzvah of truma ma'aseh that we give to the Kohen. Those are all examples in which we strengthen the bond between Jews. So a considerable amount of Parshas Emor is spent speaking about the Moadim, the various holidays that we have during the year. And when the Torah speaks about the holidays, it begins by talking about Shabbos. And the Meshech Chochmah explains that this paradigm of two different types of mitzvos really corresponds to the idea of the holidays at Yom Tovim and Shabbos. In that Shabbos can be compared to the mitzvos that we are to focus on the building the relationship between us and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And Yom Tov really corresponds to the mitzvos strengthening that we need to do between us and our fellow Jews. Shabbos is a time where we're told that we're not allowed to carry outside. We live in a place where we have an Eruv, we're allowed to carry for a purpose, but if we didn't have an Eruv, we wouldn't be allowed to carry. Shabbos is also a time when we're not allowed to cook. Shabbos is a time that needs to be focused on the human being, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Jew-God relationship. Yom Tov is a time where even the halacha says, Chetz yel Hashem v'ches yilachem. Half is for Hashem and half is for us. In other words, Yom Tov is a time where we invite family, we invite friends, we invite guests. We're allowed to carry if need be, even without an Eruv. We are allowed to cook extra so that if in case we have guests, if we have people to come over. Yom Tov is a time which strengthens the bond between us as individuals. And I think that we can take this example of the Meshech Chochmah and really apply it to something that's important to right now. And that is, as we approach the summer months, Shabbos has become very much longer in the afternoon. And it's shorter at night, but longer in the afternoon. And it's important for us to make sure, as I said a few years ago to Shabbos Shuvah Drasha, that we continue to be not only Shomrei Shabbos, not passive in our Shemirah, in our keeping of Shabbos. As a last generation, it was the biggest challenge for people to be Shomrei Shabbos, for people not to be working, not to be out of their homes on Shabbos. That was the greatest challenge for our generation. Our challenge is to be Mekadesh Shavi'i, is to sanctify the seventh day, to ensure that our meals are meals which are appropriate for Shabbos, that the content of the conversation at our meals are appropriate for Shabbos, that we speak Divrei Torah, that we have our children say over Divrei Torah, our grandchildren, that we sing songs, we sing Zemiros, and make sure that the meal is not just like a meal during the week, but it's a Shabbos meal. And certainly we have an entire day on Shabbos afternoon to think to ourselves, what percentage of the day am I going to spend on learning Torah topics or Torah ideals or sharing Torah thoughts, as opposed to just filling the time doing other things. It's important that we stress for ourselves the ability to continue and strengthen that bond with Hashem via our activities on Shabbos afternoon. That we share with our children and grandchildren, not looking at the day of Shabbos as something which is difficult, something which is a hassle, stops us from doing what we normally do during the week. No, instead, let's show them the beauty. Let's show them the uniqueness and the specialness of having a time which is totally set aside to work on a relationship between us and God, between the human being, between the Jew and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the way to do so is by allowing ourselves to sit back or about to read a book in the afternoon to say, maybe I can read a book that is somewhat Torah-based. Maybe I can connect somehow to something Jewish, something in my life that will continue to allow me to develop on a spiritual level. If we do this and we share this message with the next generation, we can certainly hope for a time when Shabbos will be not only an incredible opportunity and viewed as such every single week, but Shabbos will be a time when our inner spirits are revealed and will become closer and closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu through the bond that we build together with Him. Thank you for listening, and good Shabbos.